Hello, my love.
Hello.
You got to do this. You got the...
Oh, I knew that was going to happen.
But doesn't Miss Dora sell lipstick that doesn't do that?
Wait, is everything recording?
Yes.
Yes. I didn't that happen so fast. Does Miss Dora sell lipstick? Yeah, but it has like alcohol in it and it like dries out your lips. And I want to have like crackled old lady dried out lips.
Oh, wow. Did you hear that, Mom? Renae literally just called you crackled old lady lips.
No, that is not what I said.
Yes, we just lost the sponsor. Thank you, Rick. Well, good kind of afternoon.
Did I get it?
I think you got it.
Okay.
We have a very busy week, as you guys can imagine, with our very special. Gosh, we just have so much. We really want to make this a very special Thanksgiving. Renee's dad had his first shot of chemo a few days ago, and we're hoping that he's going to be feeling up to being with us here at Thanksgiving, but we really want to make it special, and we're really going out of our way, and we're doing Delilah's birthday party
the very next day.
The very, very next day. So
and we're decorating for Christmas.
And we're getting ready for Christmas. So it is a circus over here, and Renae walks around saying, make this dream come true, and make this dream come true.
No, I just need you to pull in the giant nutcrackers.
You are the giant nutcracker. Come on, guy. Come on. We're going to open the episode like that. But as you can see, that Renae and I are actually in better spirits. We've been through a lot, but we're in good spirits.
It's just such a roller coaster of emotions.
It really is. And to quickly talk about that, gosh, I did 15 radio stations this morning.
Yeah.
And it's kind of one of those setups where it's like every 15 minutes I have another...
Start again,
right?
Rewind,
start again. And people are really loving I Speak Wife. But specifically in I Speak Wife, I talk about my in-laws. And I talk about your dad. And so almost every single interview, people, the radio jocks really identified with the in-laws.
Yeah.
Like they really, for some reason... I kind of feel like...
that's the talking point that comes up.
Yeah, people really kind of gravitate.
Because the gummy bear joke is so great, too.
Well, yeah, we got to figure out a way, Rick, to put out the in-laws clip out there. I think we need to put the clip of when my parents come over versus her parents and then just end it at tell your face. There's an in-laws clip going up tonight. Oh, nice.
Oh, so if you're watching this episode, you can go back and watch it.
But I got to be honest with you, Renae, it was so hard when they asked, and they're like, oh, how's the in-laws? And ultimately, like I say on the radio, man, we are one big happy family. And I feel, I mean, don't get me wrong, we're not perfect, right?
Yeah.
And there is little drama here and there, but
we annoy each other.
But we all love each other. And I'm so very lucky to have beautiful and amazing in-laws. And I would hope you'd say the same.
Yes, I do.
But we all totally get along. And when people would ask, so how's the in-laws? Completely setting me up to do the joke. And man, I didn't say anything. And it really made me think of your dad. And I was kind of going to bring that up as a topic because we don't have a lot of time today because we would like to give Rick and Gigi a day off.
Yeah.
So it is a holiday week, but I think that genuinely speaking, most people are very, very compassionate. Mm-hmm. I think that everybody lives a tough life and everybody has gone through things in their lives. And I think that as a society, we always make the mistake of, when you see somebody and somebody says, hey, how you doing? Our automatic response is, great.
I'm good.
I'm doing good. Thank you.
I'm fine. I'm good.
And sometimes I feel like, man, maybe you do need to share, and I've kind of done that a little more lately when people are like, hey, how's it going? And I'm like, you know what? Not good.
Yeah.
Not good, man. It's been a rough,
It's hard though, because you also don't want to be that person. Like, we live a great life and we're very blessed. And you also don't know what the person that you're talking to is going through sometimes. And so.
But can I stop you there?
I don't want to throw a pity party of one.
No, but that opens the door for them as well.
Yeah.
Right? That opens the door for them to go, you know what? We're not having a good time. We're having a rough time right now.
Yeah.
Hey, I am having a rough time right now. And I understand your rough time. And for example, talking to our accountant today, Jose, I had no clue. Jose was talking to me about details for Vegas and, what are we doing? And he was, how you doing, man? And I said, it's been kind of rough, dude. I said, my father-in-law found out that he has lymphoma. And he goes, oh my God, I had lymphoma.
I knew he'd beat cancer. I didn't realize it was lymphoma.
And I go, well, it's they tell us that it can go into remission. He's stage 4. He goes, I was stage 4. And I go, oh my gosh, so we started talking about what his experience was like, what he went through, some of the things that he did that he felt like were beneficial, But it's one of those things where had I not mentioned it, we would not have gotten Jose's insight.
Yeah.
If I would have just said, yeah, we're fine. Can't wait to party with you in Vegas.
Yeah.
And for me, the biggest heartbreak for me is you. Watching you go through it, watching you be sad, watching you not sleep, watching you have these hard times. That's. Are you okay? Don't.
Are you? Well, I was gonna say, nah, you're gonna make me cry, and that's not what.
And then
this
we're both gonna
episode was.
cry, and then it's gonna be all fucked up.
No, it's just such a roller coaster of emotions. A lot of anxiety.
It really is, and it's been tough, but we are in a good place, and we're really looking forward to. I'm excited to see. Rebecca and Sean and
yeah.
I haven't seen your brother.
My sister's back from Japan.
I haven't seen your brother in forever, it seems.
Yeah.
So really looking forward to a wonderful weekend. And I just want to encourage everybody to, next time somebody says, how you doing? If you're not doing good, open up.
Yeah.
Say you're not. I've been doing that lately. I've been saying, well, you know what, to be honest.
Yeah.
To be honest, I had a friend commit suicide and my father-in-law got lymphoma. Yeah. So yeah, it has not been great.
Yeah.
And because of that, we do, I have been able to hear, and it does feel nice for people to go, oh my God, I'm sorry to hear that. Oh my gosh, I went through it, or we went through it, or man, I'm sorry that happened to you. And it does feel good. And that's what I was going to say about, all of the comments. Did you read them?
No, I didn't.
Oh, Renae, you need to read them.
Yeah.
Everybody has just been so gracious and so many thoughts and prayers for your father. And everybody's saying, hey, thinking about Daddy Raymond. And, you know, so it's just been, really, really beautiful the way that people have understood what we're going through on this podcast. And there are times where, I don't know how you feel, but there are times where I'm like, man, is it even working? Do people give a shit?
Yeah, it's working as our marital therapy. It's working as
definitely.
that. Yeah.
So when people ask on the radio, they're like, how's the podcast? I'm like, dude, to be honest with you, to sit down with your wife for an hour uninterrupted and having a conversation has really helped our relationship.
Did they ask about the podcast in some of the interviews?
Yeah. Well, and it's always fun, and no offense to anybody I did radio with this morning, but there's the ones that are like, oh, thanks for taking the time. And they were nice and cordial. And then there were the ones who are like, oh my God, Steve Trevino. And oh my God, how's Delilah? And tell Daddy Raymond that we love him. And we're thinking, so you can tell the people that really, listen to the podcast and make it their weekly kind of routine, But it was, radio is one of those things where, I don't know how many people are listening to radio anymore. I don't know.
I don't know.
I ask myself, I always do this. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I feel that way about cable. I don't think anyone watches cable anymore, that everyone's watching internet TV, but I still think people get in the car and just inherently turn on the radio because it's there.
I don't know. I don't. I plug my phone in, my phone integrates with my car. Yeah. And I listen to the same 10 songs.
I do too, but sometimes I get annoyed with I get annoyed with my own Pandora or my own Spotify. I'm like, you keep giving me the same songs over and over again. So I will go and put on the radio.
I would assume, and me and you are not that, Lori is, I would assume the people that have a routine in the morning, they like listening to morning radio so they can hear the weather, the traffic.
Yeah, just like you watch the morning. We still put on the news.
Yeah, you get your morning kind of general.
Your Today Show.
Yeah,
but in the
kind
car.
of like a Today Show in the car, and maybe you get a laugh.
Yeah.
There are a lot of talented radio people out there, and I enjoy doing it. Right, I enjoy calling them, and I am, and I am genuinely appreciative that they take me on the radio because they're sharing their show with me.
Yeah.
So
I'm surprised you've never done a whole radio show, just you.
I almost wonder if we could take the podcast with all these hours that we have now.
Well, what made me think about it was that you flew the podcast solo. You could totally do that on the radio.
I don't know. I flew the podcast solo because I had to.
Yeah.
I love being with you. I love sitting with you. You're a big part of my life.
Yeah.
And this is its own thing.
I gotta say, I'm a little sad that I didn't get to pie you in the face this month.
I know, man, and I'm so bummed out about that. I'm having a hard time
that it didn't work out this year.
Not screaming and yelling about it because, and again, being honest on the podcast, turns out that they got a new person in charge at Lackland, and that person said, "We don't want that."
Yeah.
And I don't know who that person is, but I would like to tell him, "Fuck you." I would. I mean, we loved doing it, and the people loved it, and we were able to feed almost 1,000 people. And now I think to myself, well, what are they going to get on Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
We were willing to do it. We were happy to do it. We had a whole team of people doing it.
Yeah.
And whoever this dickhead is said no to it. So if you're
we'll
that dickhead or you know that dickhead.
Tell him Steve Trevino's calling.
Yeah, tell him, Steve, I want to know why. Now, there could be a good reason. Right?
It could be. Maybe he's not as big a dickhead as you think he is.
I don't know, man. I mean, you just think about these men and women who enlist in our service, and some of them can't go home.
Yeah.
And at least the taste of Thanksgiving makes you feel like it's Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Yeah.
To eat turkey,
to have
and dressing
turkey and gravy, and yeah.
And all of that. And then several people on the comments said that they would love to see a podcast from you.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm excited about it.
I got some comments too. Yeah. The goal is beginning of next year.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We will see. So for just we haven't given a Delilah update because Renae completely gave up on potty training.
No. Don't say I completely gave up. That's not true. It was hard because at school they had her in pull-ups. And that's so confusing for a little one. No, when you read the potty training books, they're like, pull-ups are basically diapers. And if you're going to potty train, you throw all those things out the window.
But I said, and I don't know if I said it on the podcast, but if somebody can go find it. I go, why don't we do kind of a progressive thing where we do it for 2 weeks and then back and then do it for 2 weeks?
Because that's also very confusing. Because how do you explain? Sometimes it's okay to pee in your clothes. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes just pee yourself. Sometimes don't.
No, I mean, I think that kids, and I would think that girls in general kind of get to the point where they're like, I don't want to pee myself.
No,
and
actually,
I know what it is to pee in the toilet. I like to do that.
Delilah would be in a wet diaper for a long time and be totally fine with it. She hated diaper changes.
I know. She loses her shit. But so now I have a naked baby again running around the house.
She's doing really good, except, okay.
Well, wait a minute. So just to be clear, we're doing exactly what I said that we should do.
We just, no, the books say this too. They say, look, if you see it's not working out, just scrap it. You can take a break, especially if you started young like we did.
Look, I think people write books just to write fucking books sometimes.
That's true. I mean, you have to pay attention to your own child, but as a guideline, it's helpful if you don't know where to start.
Speaking of books.
Yes.
Couple things. Christina sent one of her friends to my show.
Uh-huh.
And gosh, she's probably 90 pounds. This little tiny girl. And she wrote a kid's book.
Yes. It was so cute. I read it to the kids at the hotel this weekend.
Wrote the kid's book. Published it herself.
Now I feel bad that I can't remember the name of it. It's a cute little alien. You belong. Something.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I feel bad.
But I just admired her for her execution.
Yeah.
And for her, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to fucking do it. Mm-hmm. Here's the book. She hired an illustrator. She wrote it. She put it out. And then on the back, there's a QR code. You can hit the QR code and it'll take you to the cartoon of it. And I just thought, wow, that's really cool. Which leads me into this next topic is we have now been offered to write a Steve Trevino book, an I Speak Wife book. And I can't quite figure out what I want that book to be.
Maybe it should be like a he said, she said book, like one of those coffee table books that you flip from side to side. And one side is your bullshit version, and then one side is my version, the right version.
No, I thought of that too, right? Like I totally thought of that. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a very good idea.
Or you want to write like a legit book.
Right.
And is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's the question is, do we write a legit book where it's a little bit of our life story, but it starts off just me and my what I was going through and me wanting to be a comedian and then meeting you.
Yeah.
And then our relationship and how we, and I also think that
how we what? You didn't finish it.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like, I'm really trying to get this joke to work on the road. And I said it really good this week, and I know you didn't see it. And I said, you know what? When I tell the story about me and you being together, mm-hmm. and I go, Renee's this, I'm this, Renee's this, I'm this, Renee's this, I'm this, right? Mm-hmm. And at the end, I want to tie it in a bow and say, and ultimately, you give me all the things that I need that I don't have, and I give you all the things that you need that you don't have, mm-hmm. right? Like you do the research, you make sure that what we're doing is thought out, and
right.
and I'm the fuck it, pull the trigger, let's go. And because of our differences,
right,
we have become a very successful team, right? So
yeah.
maybe but you know what I'm trying to say is with the book, almost kind of a guide to, hey, I wish me and you would have got on that page sooner.
Like embraced each other's differences and how they complement each other?
That and I feel like when we first met, we were on very different paths. Mm-hmm. And I was on my own and you were on your mm-hmm. own and you were trying to do your thing and I was trying to do my thing. Mm-hmm. And then things really fucking exploded when me and you both started getting together and going, hey, we're going to do this together.
Yeah.
Right? You're going to help me produce. You're going to help me direct.
Yeah.
When we built Relatable, you had your hands all over it. Remember I had this idea to put these stars over the set. Do you remember that?
I don't remember. Tell me.
We bought these huge paper stars.
Oh, yes. I do remember this.
And
yes.
you were like, no, I don't want them. I think it takes away from the set.
Yeah.
But my point is that when me and you started truly deciding we're going to go at this together, is when we really became very successful. And I think it took us both a long time.
Well, you learn more about your partner as you go, right? And rather than being annoyed with our differences, we realized it was a realization of that they did complement each other if we wanted to work together.
I don't think I realized that.
No?
I don't think I did. I think now I do.
Well, that's what I mean. It has been a process. At first, you were just annoyed that I was the way I was, and I was annoyed that you were a Tasmanian devil.
But at the same time, I was begging you to get on board forever.
You were. But as a woman, that I felt like that was hard for me because I felt like as a woman, you were saying, hey, what you've got going on, just leave it be. Don't worry about what you've got going on. Come and jump on my crazy train. And
I know this is hacky and it gets said all the time, but teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah.
And I kept going, dude, come on board. I already got this ball rolling.
Yeah.
Come help me push this ball up the mountain. Let's do this together.
Yeah.
And you refused to, but
it's that like independent woman personality of like wanting to jump in and give yourself completely and how do you not lose yourself and who you are? It took us a long time to get here.
But that's not fair because I could sit there and go, hey, I want to be my own man and I don't want to lose my individuality and I've already done all this on my own.
No one is taking away your individuality, Steve Trevino.
And nobody's taking your individuality. Go, where does the psyche come from in a young woman to go, well, you're not going to take away who I am, and I want to do my own thing. And it's like, well,
yeah,
we're a team.
Yeah. It took us having, or it took me having a certain sense of security in this relationship.
The fuck you security?
No, I mean that's what it took. That like I'm not gonna just say let me leave like what I'm trying to achieve. And
so 10 years, 8 years like, into it, you're like, I think Steve might really be into me. Fucking 8 years later, I think Steve might be.
It did take us like 7-8 years to get married.
Not 8.
Yeah. 7.
I always liked it that when it comes to exaggerations, Renae always exaggerates in her favor. Always. She wants everything exact except for the prices of the things that she buys.
You $225 at Hobby Lobby.
Somebody will go, hey, how far is it from LA to New Braunfels? And I'm like, I don't know, like 1,500 miles. Actually, it's 1,600 miles. Right? And then I'll be like, hey, Renae, how much was that dress? You're like, I don't know, like $4 or whatever. 14. And then I'm like, it was more like 22. Well, you know. And I'm like, how come when it comes to your shit, you always exaggerate?
Babe, we don't have time to play The Price is Right this episode. Rick told us we got to pack a punch.
But to get on that thing, back on the book, I don't know, man. They came to me with it and they said, hey, we really want to get you a book deal. We're going to find you an author to help you tell your story. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, oh shit, what story do I want to tell?
Yeah.
And also, I mean, another thing that I think is important is to tell the story of really knowing who you are.
Yeah.
I didn't know who I was. And I mean, the problem was I knew what I was. I knew who I am. I never wavered from that.
Yeah.
But when I moved to LA, I was so lost, right? And I was like, I don't like this, but I know I have to be here.
Yeah.
I don't like these people, but I know I have to be here. I don't like the environment. I don't like, the bullshit, right? But I guess I have to be here. And then ultimately me going, hey, I just need to be me. And there was a big part of me that wanted to be, part of the cool kid comedy club. I wanted to be in the group.
Yeah.
And I never fit in that group. And good for them. I'm at the age in my life where I'm like, hey, good for you guys. I'm glad that you were able to do that. And I'm not mad that I wasn't able to do that because everything has now worked out. I love being on my own island. Do I know all of those guys? Yeah. And if I saw those guys, we'd say hi and we all have memories together because we all stood at the Comedy Store and the Laugh Factory and the Improv in LA together for years and we were all on the same lineups. But I never quite fit in. And I wish I would have figured it out quicker.
Yeah.
I knew that, I mean, and it still might happen. I did get to do that podcast with Larry the Cable Guy. Mm-hmm. And we talked about that. And Jeff Foxworthy is one of those guys too, where, man, I'd really love to talk to him about, because he was in New York for a while, then he was in LA for a while, then got a sitcom, and then he went through the same struggle of, I don't need this. I have a great life touring. I sell a lot of tickets.
Yeah.
And I can live in Georgia and do my thing, right? So I don't know. I mean, is it worth writing a book and talking about that?
Yeah.
And what it means to go, hey, you don't have to have that path, right? You don't have to be in the cool club to have your own island and create your own world.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, Rick, what are your thoughts?
Always want to know the behind the scenes of the comedy stuff. But if you're going with the I Speak wife, how you guys met and everything, that is always a fascinating story to me.
You keep going serious, and I just as you talk, the ideas swirling around in my head are all silly. I think you should do a Mad Libs, do Mad Libs that are I Speak wife.
And figure it out.
Really funny.
Yeah, what does this mean? Here's the translation, right? But maybe we do that.
Maybe that's a companion to your book. That's the companion.
No, maybe we do it on the title page on the bottom, right? And do a quote from I Speak, here's what she says, and here's
Or not the index. Laura used to be a librarian. What's it called at the end of the book? There's like a separate section at the end of the book, not the index. Oh,
Now,
I don't know.
I read
prologue.
The prologue.
and I don't want to compare myself to anybody, because please understand that I'm not saying I'm in their on the same class as them. But I did read Steve Martin's book.
Yeah. Oh, I love Steve Martin. He's one of my all-time favorites.
It was called Born Standing Up.
Yeah.
And he just tells his journey of figuring out his.
Well, because he's such a multi-talented man, like so
not like
many
me,
talents.
right?
No, I knew you were going to say that. That's not how I meant it. But the man plays like how many different instruments?
No,
I
he's
forget.
a very,
like,
very talented guy, and basically
a playwright.
Well, when I read it, I was born standing up, right? I've been doing stand up since second grade.
Yeah.
Since I was a little kid, I've been doing stand up, right?
Yeah.
And then I read Russell Peters' book, and Russell's was really cool and all of these are very light reading, but I really enjoyed it because there was a lot of things. But again, I'm looking at it from a stand up comedian perspective.
Right.
Do I want everybody to buy this book and go?
Well, no, but Rick even said Rick is not a stand up, and Rick is all about inside comedy.
But I don't know but again, I don't think the people that watch this podcast and the people that go to my stand-up shows are generally speaking stand-up fans.
Yeah.
I think they're Steve Trevino fans and Captain Evil fans, and they live very regular lives, and they're
love
not
the relationship material.
They love the honesty of it.
Yeah.
Right. And the almost documentary
Finding
style
humor in the everyday of marriage.
Right. But I also think, how many times do we get, oh my God, you saved my marriage? That happens to us all the time. How many times do we get, we were on the verge of divorce until we saw your special and realized, oh, we're not alone.
Yeah.
Oh, we watched the podcast because you guys have discussions like we do.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Now the whole book idea is driving me crazy because I want to deliver something of value too.
Yeah.
I want somebody to go, man, I read Steve's book and it motivated me and it made me understand.
Well, and then maybe it is just telling your story, because that is inspiring, the way you did it. The way we did it.
See how I always use we? So I don't know. I mean, it's perplexing to me because I don't know what I want to deliver.
You'll figure it out. Think about it at night and you'll figure it out.
But I also think about, and Lori being an ex-librarian, this is something that lives forever.
Which is really cool.
It lives forever. And is this something that I have to think, is this something that my 18-year-old son is going to open one day and read it and be proud of it?
Oh my God. So I'm a Real Housewives junkie. That's like my trash TV. And all I keep thinking about is there's an episode on Real Housewives where Lisa Rinna's like teenage daughter talks about reading her book. And apparently I've not read Lisa Rinna's book, but apparently in her book, she like basically talks about how to give a blowjob. And that's what it made me.
Well, it does make me happy that you are learning some skills from.
I said I didn't read the book.
I don't know. I just want to deliver something of value.
Yeah.
Right. I don't want it to be something. Well, but value is laughter too, right? It could be something like you said. That's just, man, that book's really cute and really funny. And
no, I think you have a great story. I think you have, and you like inherently who you are as a human. You love to share and you love to teach. And so is at your core.
I love people.
You do.
And I have been through so much in my life. So much. I mean, I've been on my own and financially supported myself since I was 18 years old.
Yeah.
So I always I don't want somebody to make the same mistakes I do. Right. And I want to go, hey, here's the life experience that I have.
Right.
I want to share that with you so that so hopefully you get some insight from it and it moves you forward. Much like the real estate or, the mistake that we made of thinking, two mistakes that I think we made was, oh my God, we'll never own a house.
Yeah.
Big mistake. We should have got focused on it. It's doable. We could have done it way before we did it. Number one. Number two, oh, well, we're not ready for kids. You're never going to be ready. I'm a grown man right now. I'm not ready. It's hard. But it's so damn rewarding. Every minute of it. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I'd really like to hear from the Peanut Gallery as to what kind of book they think we should deliver. Yeah. Man, it's so much fun to see, to do these radio interviews, and they go, Aztec Chevrolet. I mean, I'm
on your radio interview?
Oh, yeah. I'm doing a radio interview in Colorado Springs, and he's like, where do I find Aztec Chevrolet? I go, why do you ask? He's like, well, from your podcast. He's like, I Googled it. There's only one in Beeville. I'm like, that's fucking it. That's it. It's just one in Beeville. So big shout out to Aztec Chevrolet.
Yeah.
Old Salt Coffee for just being amazing. And
I got a little nervous. I think we might be out of the medium, the Old Salt medium that I like.
I like dark.
We're running low.
And then our friends at Pick Cherries. The contest is still running, sí o no?
No. Wait, Rick, do we have a winner to announce?
We do not. I got to talk to Stu, but it is over.
Okay.
Contest is over.
Okay.
So Rick's going to get with Stu.
Now we have everyone on the edge of their seats. There's a winner and nobody knows who it is.
They're going to do their little...
Yes. They automate it. We have no idea who it is.
I wish we did. We got lucky with Shannon.
Shannon Scott. Yes.
She was amazing. Her husband's amazing. We got very lucky with them. And we're so open with our lives and our time and our generosity. And so far...
Yeah.
We have been very lucky with people being respectful of that.
Yeah.
I'm just afraid that day that somebody takes it over the line. You know, and then, we go, oh, well, fuck it. We can't.
Yeah.
Right. So thank you all for being so respectful and so supportive of me and my wife. And believe me, your thoughts and prayers matter.
Yes.
Continue.
Thank you.
Please continue.
I hope you're all having a wonderful holiday weekend with your families and decorating your houses and making your husbands crazy putting trees together.
And if you see this Friday morning and everybody's over, well, guess what you're doing Friday night or Saturday night? You're watching I Speak Wife on YouTube.
Yes. If you have family, please share I Speak Wife with them. You guys watch it together.
I love you guys. Thank you very much. And we'll see you. Oh, by the way, this is Daniel McCutcheon's hat. And I love it. It says washed up. So it's perfect for guys my age. We'll see you guys next time.